Greetings and welcome to the Reparenting Daily podcast. In this podcast, we'll dive deep into reparenting, exploring all of the tools and resources that you'll need to help you along your journey. This podcast is divided into 3 sections. The first is a daily reading. The second is a discussion of the reading, followed by suggested journal prompts. And the last section is a peaceful meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whenever and wherever you're joining us. I'm so glad you've joined us today on this journey of self-expansion and growth. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe this podcast wherever you're listening, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Your help here really makes a huge difference in allowing us to spread the word and build a more supportive community as we continue with our self-reparenting. Now, before we get started, I have some quick updates for you. First, I'd like to introduce our Patreon community. Here, for a small monthly fee, you can join us for 3 weekly meetings for additional support with your reparenting journey. On Sundays, we have a meditation group. On Tuesdays, we have a book club discussion. And on Thursdays, we have open topic conversations. You can find out more details about this if you go to the Reparenting Daily website and check out on the community tab. In addition to that, we also have a WhatsApp group to foster more daily connection and support for whenever you need it. And this is a community of fellow travelers from around the world who will always be there when help is needed. It's just one of the many ways that we're building our network of resources that are really going to help support your reparenting journey. For the next update, I'm very excited to announce that I've just released some first books. The first is probably the most important, and it's called the Reparenting Daily Journal. Now, this journal is a daily guide for 365 days of the year. We'll be starting in 2025, and basically each month corresponds to a theme in reparenting, and each week of each month corresponds to a sub-theme of the monthly theme. Now, from the beginning of the year, 2025, each daily episode will correspond with the themes in the daily workbooks. And so you can use this as a guide to work through your reparenting journey to stay focused, ensuring that you cover all of the most critical areas within a year's time. And again, this will be aligning up with the podcast, so you can use both of these to make a more engaging and interactive experience. This is ensuring that you really book progress on your reparenting journey. The next set of books I've written is called Fairy Tales for Reparenting. This is a collection of 3 books that contain short stories or fairy tales inspired from Jungian analysis, mythology, philosophy, and psychology that really is targeted to helping you connect to your inner child. And so these stories are very short. They're not very long. They're written in a very simple manner so that it's not too taxing on you, so you can more easily connect with the joy and fun of your inner child. More interestingly, however, is that at the end of each story, there's an analysis section that really analyzes the main themes and concepts within each story to provide encouragement and inspiration. Additionally, you will find corresponding journal prompts after each story and each analysis section to help you reflect deeper on how the themes of each fairy tale can be reflected and correspond to your own personal journey as you work towards self-expansion. You can find all of these books now available on Amazon, so go ahead and give us a look and give us some support. And as I've mentioned before, this entire process of reparenting and self-expansion is really about growth, iterative change, and continuous improvement. Much like the process of nurturing the bonsai tree, our reparenting journey requires our consistency and care. So many thanks for being here and for supporting this project, and also to committing on your journey of self-expansion. Now, without further ado, let's dive into today's practice. Today's reading is an article from Psych Central. It's entitled 18 Ways to Be Kind to Yourself and Why It Matters. Just as a reminder, we're in February and the theme of the month is self-compassion, self-kindness. We're in week 2, and the theme is practicing self-kindness and self-forgiveness. 18 ways to be kind to yourself and why it matters. You can be kind to yourself by being mindful of negative self-talk, accepting that to err is human, and focusing on what lights you up. If you've ever downplayed your achievements or berated yourself for not doing better, you know that it can be hard to be good to yourself. For many people, self-compassion doesn't come easily. But being nice to yourself may help you ease stress, face difficulties more courageously, and feel more contented and connected. How to be kind to yourself. What does being kind to yourself look like? It depends on what brings you joy and peace. In some, it's connecting to those things that make you feel good about yourself and the world around you. Number one, being kind to others. Showing compassion and kindness to others may improve how you feel about yourself, explains Erin Bircher, a licensed psychotherapist in Raleigh. Even the smallest acts of kindness and altruism can help. For example, try smiling, saying hi to the cashier, or holding the door open for someone and see how you feel. Number two, being mindful. Mindfulness helps you get curious about your emotions. Instead of being carried away by them or feeling shame, explains Brenda Wade, PhD, a clinical psychologist and relationship expert. What does that have to do with self-kindness? Wade says that when you allow your emotions to control you, you may over-focus on what's wrong, and it may make trusting yourself more challenging. Number three, acknowledging negative thoughts. Acknowledging a negative thought can help you be kind to yourself. You could say something like, "There it is again. There's the mean thought that sometimes holds me back." Justifying negative thoughts can help you build awareness, explains Lori Gatti, a licensed professional counselor in Pittsburgh. When you do catch yourself thinking negatively, you can change the trajectory of your thoughts with opposite statements, says Gatti. Challenging negative thoughts may also involve learning to forgive yourself for past mistakes. Number four, taking a breath or distracting yourself. Focusing on your breathing can give you a short break from negative thoughts and a chance to regroup and reorient, says Gatti. It's a grounding technique that can also help reduce anxiety. Similar to taking a breath, engaging in a short activity or exercise can also allow you to reroute your thoughts and avoid becoming entrenched in negative thoughts. Number five, using a mantra. Consider developing a mantra or positive affirmation to meditate on throughout the day. You could pick something like, "I am doing the best I can," which may remind you to be kind to yourself. The mantra needs to be true, she added. It needs to be reflective of what you believe about yourself. It won't help to create a mantra that's grandiose, like, "I am the best action in the world." And number six, tolerating mistakes. Practicing self-kindness means learning to tolerate the mistakes without harsh self-criticism, explains Wade. Remind yourself that everyone makes mistakes and feels badly at times, she said. This is the reading for today. Just as a reminder, I've only read a portion. Please do check out the show notes for the link to the full article. I do encourage you to continue reading, as there are many more tips and insights into this practice of self-kindness. Welcome back. This reading is important for both reparenting and self-kindness because it emphasizes the necessity of self-compassion, emotional awareness, and gentle self-correction, key components of inner healing. For those engaged in reparenting, these practices help overwrite or rewrite the internalized harshness from childhood, replacing it with a nurturing and forgiving voice. Many people who need reparenting grew up in environments where mistakes were met with punishment or criticism rather than support and learning. Practicing mindfulness, acknowledging negative thoughts without judgment, and tolerating mistakes with self-compassion, individuals can create a more supportive inner dialogue. This process mirrors the role of a kind and patient caregiver, teaching the inner child that they are safe, valued, and worthy of understanding, even when they fall short. Self-kindness is essential for overall emotional well-being, as it fosters resilience and self-trust. Reading the highlights specifically, this reading highlights specific ways to be kind to oneself, using positive mantras, taking mindful breaks, and practicing self-compassion, each of which helps counteract self-criticism and stress. These methods are crucial because they shift the focus from harsh self-judgment to self-acceptance, making it easier to navigate life's challenges with confidence and inner peace. When we replace cycles of negativity with supportive and encouraging self-talk, we not only reduce anxiety and stress, but also develop a healthier, more compassionate relationship with ourselves. This is the foundation of self-care that allows us to engage with the world from a place of strength and self-respect, rather than insecurity or fear. As we move on to the journal prompts today, number 1, what is one way I can practice self-compassion today, especially in moments of self-doubt or frustration? And number 2, how did my caregiver respond to any mistakes as a child? How does that influence how I treat myself now? And number 3, what personal mantra or affirmations would help me feel more supported and kind towards myself? And how can I integrate those into my daily life? That's it for today. As always, thanks for being here. Take care of yourself and do be well. Welcome back. Now, this is the third and final section of the daily podcast. This is your silent meditation. Please find a place where you can be comfortable and undisturbed, where you can relax and spend some time with yourself for this 10-minute silent meditation. You can choose to be sitting, standing, lying down, or in whatever position makes you comfortable today. Just take some time to listen to yourself. Next, be sure that you are taking some time to be with your breath to connect with your body. Don't be disturbed or overwhelmed by your thoughts. Simply allow them to pass. Just observe them. Do not engage with your thoughts. Only be mindful of them passing, as if they are drifting down a river. Use this time to connect with yourself. Whatever time of day you are listening to this, Namaste.